Good morning. Today on Saltiness Isn't Bliss, I am sharing with you some tips and tricks. So let's get started. These are just fun little kitchen hacks, helpful hacks that I have learned along the way, some of which my own mom taught me in her kitchen way back in the day. So if you've got some fresh carrots on hand, whether those carrots have been cut up or you just took them right out of the bag, one great way to keep them crisp and fresh and not dried out is to just store them in water in the fridge. So pour them in a bowl, any bowl will do. If you want to cover them with a lid, perfectly fine as well. And then just put some fresh water in there, pop them in the fridge. They are cold and crisp and ready to go whenever you have a taste for them or need them. My next tip and trick, and this is a big one, guys, is if you love potatoes as much as I do, I'm sure that you love your potatoes to not be covered in those nasty little eyes that like to sprout and grow out of the potato. So my trick is take them out of the bag when you get home, put them in a bowl, and pop them in the refrigerator. They will stay fresh in there for so long, such a longer shelf life in the refrigerator than you would ever get keeping them in the bag, keeping them in your pantry, or a cabinet. So that is my little trick with potatoes, is just keep them in the refrigerator. This one, and I'll be honest, this is one of my favorites. This is my mom's trick. Let's say you just made a fresh batch of cookies, which I did last night. So these are sugar cookies with sprinkles. And let's say that you want your cookies to stay as soft and fresh as they were the moment they came out of the oven. What's the trick? Take a piece of bread, any type of bread will work, rip it up into little pieces like that, and just spread those pieces all around in your container that you're storing your cookies in. Leave those pieces of bread in there overnight, and then the next morning, which would be now, those pieces of bread are stiff and hardened, so you're going to pull them all out of there, toss them in the trash, and your cookies are every bit as soft and gooey and chewy as they were last night when they came out of the oven. Simple as that, guys, and they will stay that way as long as you keep the lid on them, keep them covered when you're not eating them, of course. They will stay soft and fresh. All right, my next tip and trick is a great one. If you are looking for a tasty snack or breakfast, if you've got a banana laying around that's starting to get to the point that it's a bit overripe, this recipe is for you. So you want to just put that banana directly in a bowl. Now, depending on how overripe it is will depend on how mushy it will be and how well it will cooperate. So there's my banana in my bowl. Take a fork and just kind of mash and break it up into smaller pieces. How mashed up you go will depend upon you and also how overripe your banana is. When you're done, it should look something like that. And now you're just gonna layer your flavors in your bowl to create your little breakfast snack, breakfast bowl, whatever you wanna call it. So I'm gonna add some granola. Just gonna kind of sprinkle that right on top. Again, what you put in there, how much you put will depend upon you. So there's my layer of granola. Next, I'm gonna do a layer of cranberries, raisins. Just gonna sprinkle those in there. Now, if you want to get really creative, the other things I've added in here is yogurt. I've added peanut butter chips, mini chocolate chips. You could sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon or cinnamon sugar right on top. Anything that just kind of gives you that cozy fall inspired flavor to your snack, to your breakfast. So this is just a great way to use up an overripe banana without having to toss it in the trash. A homemade chai tea latte. I don't know about you guys, I love chai tea lattes at restaurants, so I have figured out a tasty, easy, inexpensive way to make my own. So I start with some hot water. So I've heated this glass of water in the microwave. Any way you want to get your water ready is perfectly fine. I am now steeping a tea bag that is vanilla chai in my water. The longer you steep your tea bag, the stronger your tea will be, so that will be up to you. Next, I'm going to add a tasty little cinnamon stick, some honey. Again, this will all be to taste, so how much you put in there will be up to you. And then last, I'm going to add some creamer in there. So again, how much you put and what flavor creamer or just plain half and half, totally up to you. So I'm going to pop some hazelnut in there. I like to add it just until it kind of changes color there, and then you want to give it a really good stir. Make sure you leave that cinnamon stick in there the whole time you drink this tasty, warm, cozy drink, because it will just enhance the flavor even more. Now, last step, I don't have any in the house right now. You can always add some fresh whipped cream on top, and then just sprinkle some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some cinnamon sugar on top of that, and you've got yourself a homemade chai tea latte. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope these tips and tricks have given you some inspiration and ideas in your own kitchens. See you next time.